Math Gad, guys. Welcome to today's video in which we're going to be learning a lot. But before we begin with the video, guys, it's very important to me that you guys hit that subscribe button to help the channel grow. Hit that like button if you find this video useful, and don't forget to share with your friends. So let's begin.
Oh my God.
Hello guys, welcome to today's video in which we're going to be talking about how to combine like terms to solve equations. We're doing 4 problems today, so let's begin. So guys, the first problem is pretty easy. The first rule we have to remember is that we have to add or subtract like terms. So in this case, we have two terms with z, so we are going to have to add or subtract them. Because they are both negative, that means that the two values are going to be added. So 12.2 and 13.4, when you add them, is going to give you 25.6z. Cannot forget the z. But because they were both negative, we also have to add a negative on the end. And that is going to be equal to minus 179.2. Now, guys, you have to remember that whenever we have a variable, like in this case z, and we have it being multiplied by a coefficient or a number like minus 25.6, whenever we want to get rid of that 25.6, we have to see what it's doing to the z or our variable. In this case, it's multiplying, right? So in order to get rid of it, we divide by that same number. So we divide by 25.6 negative on both sides of the equation, right? And whenever we divide minus 25.6 by minus 25.6, that's going to give us 1. So it's z is equal to, and then negative divided by negative is going to be positive, and then 179.2 divided by 25.6 is going to be a value of 7. So that means that z is going to be 7. Another way you can think of this problem is remembering that apples are added with apples, right? So in this case, the letters, whatever has letters, has to be added with that same letter. So in this case, we have z. So then we are going to add 12.2 and 13.4 because they have the same sign. So that's going to be 25.6. And then because they are both negative, we have to add the negative at the beginning. And then that's going to be equal to minus 179.2. Then because this is multiplying, another way in which we can see it is that it's going to pass to the other side doing the contrary operation. So the opposite operation of multiplying is dividing. So we're going to divide this number by 25.6, and the answer is going to be plus 7. And that is going to be your answer. So it doesn't matter how you solve it, the answer is still going to be the same one. Let's continue with the next problem. Okay guys, we have again the same thing. We have x and x. In this case, remember, we have to combine like terms. This is what this practice is about, combining like terms. So in this case, the two like terms are the ones that have x, right? So we have 4 divided by 5, and we have 1 divided by 2. But because these two are different signs, so one is positive and the other one is negative, they are going to be subtracted. So we have to find the common denominator, which is 10. 10 divided by 5 is going to be 2, and 2 times 4 is going to be 8x, because we cannot forget that there's an x here. Then 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. Multiplied by 1 is going to be minus 5x. So again, we have 10 divided by 5, 2 times 4, 8x, negative, because we have it here, 10 divided by 2, 5, 5 times 1, minus 5, and the x. And that is going to be equal to 3, because we just got out the greatest common denominator, which was 10. Now, 8x minus 5x is going to be 3x, and that is going to be divided by 10. So as we saw in the previous problem, guys, this 10 right here is dividing the x. So whenever we want to pass it to the other side, it's going to pass multiplying. So 3 times 10, so that's 3x is equal to 30. And now the 3 is multiplying, so we're not going to pass it, dividing. So x is equal to 30 divided by 3. And that is going to be equal to 10. And that is going to be your answer. So x is equal to 10. Okay, now we have decimals. So again, like terms, we have x and x, that means that they can be combined. So minus 0.59 plus 0.29, that is going to be, when we combine them, that is going to be minus 0.3 x. People usually forget the x, so try not to. Is going to be equal to 7.8. You also have to remember, guys, that whenever we have a negative number, negative 0.59 and positive 0.29, we have to put the sign of the highest one. So the highest one is minus 0.59, that's why we have a negative here. So minus 0.3x is equal to 7.8. So that means that x is equal to 7.8 divided by negative 0.3. Because this 0.3 is multiplying the x, is going to pass dividing. Remember, if one number is multiplying, it passes dividing. And if the number is dividing, it's going to pass multiplying. So whenever we divide 7.8 divided by negative 0.3, positive divided by negative is going to be negative, and 7.8 divided by 0.3 is going to be 26. So that means the answer is going to be x equal to minus 26. In this problem, which is the last one, we have 3 fractions, but these 3 fractions all have x. So that means that they are like terms, so we can combine them. So as you can recall from primary, what we have to do here is that we have to find the greatest common denominator, which is 15. And then we have to find the fractions to make them all homogeneous so that we can add them. So 15 divided by 5 is going to be 3 times 2x, because we have 2x here. Then 15 divided by 15 is going to be 1 times 8x. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then we multiply it by 1x. And that is all going to be equal to minus 72, right? So now we have minus 3 times 2, that's minus 6x. Minus 1 times 8 is minus 8x. And plus 5 times 1 is plus 5x. And that is all divided by 15. And that is equal to minus 72. Now everything that has x can be further simplified. Minus 6 minus 8 plus 5 is going to be minus 9x divided by 15. And that is going to be equal to minus 72. Now, as we learned before, that 15 is dividing. So if we want to pass it to the other side, it's going to pass multiplying. So minus 9x is equal to 15 times 72, which is minus 1080. Now, we're still left with a minus 9. But that minus 9 is multiplying. So when we are going to pass it to the other side, it's going to divide. So the answer is going to be 1080 divided by 9. So negative divided by negative, it's positive, and 1080 divided by 9 is 120. And that is going to be your answer because we have reached the value of x. And that is pretty much it, guys. So you have to remember how to solve homogeneous and heterogeneous fractions. So getting the greatest common denominator. The rules of the signs are vital. And again, combining like terms is pretty easy. You just have to remember that anything that has a coefficient or a number has to be added together, and everything that has an x or a variable has to be added together. When you want to solve for the variable, you have to move. Something is multiplying, you move it to the other side dividing. Something is dividing, you move it to the other side multiplying. So remember, the denominator is dividing, so when you pass it to the other side, it's of course going to multiply, like in this problem, the 15 and the 9. So guys, feel free to redo these problems because practicing is key, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.
Check out these other videos to improve your math skills, and make sure you click that subscribe button to make the community grow. Follow Math Gad in its social media accounts, drop a like, a comment below, and see you on the next one. Bye!